Yeah, welcome. So the topic we'll be discussing in this lecture is fuzzy relations. So before getting into the actual concept of fuzzy relations, first we'll be discussing crisp relations. First we'll be discussing crisp relations and we'll be discussing like how certain operations can be performed on crisp relations, and then we'll be discussing about fuzzy relations and how those same operations can be performed on fuzzy relations, right? So that's what we are going to do. So so first let us try to understand the crisp relation. Assume that there are two sets A and B. Let us assume these are crisp sets. Then for these two sets you can derive a Cartesian product. A and B are two crisp sets. The Cartesian product for the sets A and B can be represented something like this: A cross B. This cross represents the Cartesian product is nothing but A comma B, where A belongs to B and A belongs to A and B belongs to B. That is every element A belongs to the set A and every element B belongs to set B, right? So we shall discuss this with an example. So this is how the Cartesian product of two crisp sets were defined. Okay, it is set of all elements A comma B such that A belongs to the set A and B belongs to the set B. Okay. Here there are certain things which we should note. A cross B is not equal to B cross A. Okay, so this is A cross B. B cross A will be what? B cross A will be B comma A such that every element B belongs to B and every element A belongs to A. Okay, so A cross B is not equal to B cross A, right? Whereas this is the number of elements in A cross B. This represents the number of elements. This symbol represents the number of elements in A cross B will be equal to the number of elements in A into the number of elements in B. Okay, that is, if set A contains 5 elements and if set B contains 4 elements, then A cross B will contain 20 elements. Okay, that is, it is nothing but the product of the number of elements in set A into the product of the number of I mean it is nothing but the number of elements in set A into the number of elements in set B, right? Okay, so A cross B provides a mapping from, that is, A belongs to set A and all B belongs to set B, right? Okay, so basically it provides a mapping A cross B or B cross A. So such a mapping is called as a relation. Such a mapping is called as a relation. Okay, fine. Now let us try to understand this, whatever we have discussed, this Cartesian product with an example. So let us assume we have two sets, set A and set B. Assume set A contains these values. This is a crisp set. It contains these values 1, 2, 3 and 4. Set B contains these values 3, 5 and 7. Okay. Now what is A cross B? Cartesian product A cross B is given as what? Is given as A comma B. Okay, such that A belongs to set A and B belongs to set B, right? So all the possible combination of A, B you have right here. So what are the combination? From set A you take the first element. So 1 comma 3, 1 comma 5, 1 comma 7, 2 comma 3, second element. Now 2 comma 5, 2 comma 7, then third element 3 comma 3, 3 comma 5, 3 comma 7, then the fourth element 4 comma 3, 4 comma 5 and 4 comma 7. So this is the Cartesian product of A cross B. Okay, if it is B cross A, then it would be like 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 4, 5 comma 1, 5 comma 2, 5 comma 3, 5 comma 4, 7 comma 1, 7 comma 2, 7 comma 3 and 7 comma 4, right? So that is not same as that of A cross B, right? So this is how we calculate the Cartesian product of what you call of A cross B, right? Now let us define what is a relation. So from a Cartesian product, so once the Cartesian product is defined, then from the Cartesian product we can define a relation. Okay, So from this Cartesian product, now we are going to define some relation. So this, there is a relation R. We are defining a relation R such that R is equal to A comma B. R contains A comma B, where A belongs to set A and B belongs to set B, such that B is equal to A plus 1. Okay. So from this Cartesian product, we are going to define a relation R. From this Cartesian product, we are defining a relation R such that every element in R is a ordered pair A comma B, where A belongs to set A and B belongs to set B, such that B is equal to A plus 1. Okay. So you take every element and see whether B is equal to A plus 1 or not. If you take this 1 comma 3, this is B. Is B is equal to A plus 1? A is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So B is not A plus 1. If you take this, is B is A plus 1? No. Is B is A plus 1? 1 plus 1, 2. This is 7. This is B is A plus 1. Yeah, B, A is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. That is B. So this is one element which can come into R. Similarly, if you see this, 2 plus 1, 3. That is not equal to 5. 2 plus 1, 3. That is not equal to 7. 3 plus 1, 4. That is not equal to 3. 3 plus 1, 4. That is not equal to 5. 3 plus 1, 4. That is not equal to 7. 4 plus 1, 5. That is not equal to 3. 4 plus 1, 5. It is equal to 5. So this is another element that can come into the relation R. This 4 plus 1, 5, which is not equal to 7. So relation R will have only these two elements, 2 comma 3 and 4 comma 7. So R contains 2 comma 3 and 4 comma 7. Okay. So this is how we define a relation. So basically a relation is defined from a Cartesian product. Okay. This is one of the way. Right. Now this relation can be represented as a matrix. This relation can be represented as a matrix. Okay. This relation is actually defined on which set? It is defined on the set A and B. So basically it is this relation we have derived from the Cartesian product of A cross B. So this Cartesian product is derived from which set? A and B, right? So we can say that this relation actually it is derived from the set A and B. So this can be represented as a matrix. So in the row we are representing this the values which are available in matrix A, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the column we are representing the values in the in the row we are representing the values which are in set A, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the column we are representing the values that are in set B, that is 3, 5, 7. Okay. So in this matrix, just we will fill it with 1 wherever there is a this particular ordered pair appears in the relation. Okay. So 2 comma 3, what is 2? This is 2 comma 3. So this position we are filling with 1, and then 4 comma 5. So this is 4 comma 5. So this position we are filling with 1. Remaining all it is filled with 0. Right. So this is how this relation can be represented through a matrix. Okay. So I hope you are following. So what we have discussed so far in the sense, we have discussed like what is a Cartesian product for a crisp set, and how a relation can be created from a Cartesian product, and how the relation can be represented as a matrix. So that is what we have discussed. Okay. Right. Now let us discuss some operations on relations. So we have now defined relation. What is a relation? So relation can be represented as a matrix. Now let us discuss some operations on relation. So we will be discussing these three operations initially: union, intersection, and complement. So let us assume you have two relations. Relation R on set. So relation R is actually depending on the set X and Y. Okay. It contains element xy, where x belongs to A and y belongs to B. And relation S also contains element xy of ordered pair xy, where x belongs to the set A and y belongs to set B. Okay. So basically we have two relations R and S. Okay. On the same set A and B. Now the union of these two sets will be what? In the sense it will be max of these two relations, max of Rx comma y and Sx comma y, right? Similarly, intersection of two relation Rx comma y and Sx comma y, intersection will be the minimum value of Rx comma y and Sx comma y. Okay. And the complement Complement of a relation is nothing but 1 minus or x comma y. Okay, so for example, uh, let us take this relation. Okay, let us take this relation R and S. Okay, this is R. This is how the relation R is defined. This is how the relation S is defined. Okay, let us say that R is defined on x comma y and S is also defined on x comma y. So the relation should be defined on the same sets. Then only you can calculate union, intersection or complement. Otherwise it is not possible. Okay. So R is also defined on x comma y. S is also on x comma y, where x belongs to A and where each element of y belongs to B. Okay. Now R union S means what? R union S is nothing but max. It is max of every element of the relation R and S. So the first element, if you see 0 and 1, the max is 1. So this is 1. Okay. Then 1 and 0, again the max is 1. Then 0 and 0, max is 0. 0 and 0, max is 0. Okay. Then here 0 and 0, max is this and this. Okay. 0 and 0, max is 0. 0 and 1, max is 1. 1 and 0, max is 1. 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 0, it is 0. 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 1, it's 1. 1 and 0, it's 1. Okay. Then coming to the last row, 0 and 0, it is 0. 0 and 0, it is 0. Again 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 1, it is 1. Okay. So this is how we define R union S. R intersection S. Similarly, R intersection S, in the sense it is nothing but min of the relation R and relation S. So for every element at the appropriate places, you find the min. So 0 and 1, the minimum is 0. Okay. 1 and 0, the minimum is 0. Okay. 0 and 0, the minimum is 0. Again 0 and 0, the minimum is 0. Okay. So 0 and 0, the minimum is 0. 0 and 1, the minimum is 0. 1 and 0, the minimum is 0. I think it will be basically 0 because we have only 1 and 0s, right? So the minimum of 1 and 0 will be always 0. Okay, only if it is 2 ones are coming at the same place, then it will be 1. Okay, is there anywhere like this, like the 2 ones are coming at the same place? So here all ones are appearing at diagonal, whereas here none of the one is appearing at the diagonal. Okay, so there is no place where 2 ones are appearing at the same place. Okay, so in this case I think everything will be 0, right? 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 1, 0. 1 and 0, 0. Okay, yeah. 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 0, 0, 0. So everything is 0. But say for example this is a 1. Let us assume this is a 1. Then in that case what will happen? This 1 and 1, it will be 1. Then this position will become 1. Okay. So basically it takes the minimum value, right? Similarly R bar is nothing but it is complement of R. It is 1 minus R. Okay. So R bar is nothing but you just make all zeros to 1 and all ones to zeros, or you can just subtract 0 minus 1, or I mean 1 minus 0, or whatever the value there. So if you take R complement, it is, so basically what you have to do is 1 minus 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 1, 1 minus 0, sorry, 1 minus 0, 1. Okay, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 1, 1 minus 0, 1. So like that you have to fill. So what you will get, or complement, here you will get 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 0, 1, again 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 1, 0, is 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 0, 1, 1, 0. So basically it inverses. All zeros will become 1 and all ones will become zeros, right? So that is what it does, right? Similarly you can also calculate S complement, right? Okay, so this is how union, intersection and complement works in relation, in a crisp relation. Okay, next we will be discussing something called as composition. So this is an important property of a crisp relation. So the composition given a relation R, so assume a relation R on x comma y, that is relation R uh, is basically defined over the set x and set y, okay, and there is relation S, there is relation S which is defined over the set y and z, okay. R is defined over x and y and S is defined over y and z. Then R composition S, which is represented using this symbol, R composition S, okay, is defined something like this. R composition S contains elements x comma z, okay. You see R is defined over x comma y, okay, and S is defined over y comma z. So you can say that every element in R is nothing but, you can say that every element in R is nothing but small x comma small y, such that small x belongs to this set capital X and small y belongs to the set capital Y, okay. This is how R is defined. Similarly, S is defined something like this. So every element in S is nothing but y comma z, such that the small y belongs to the set capital Y and small z belongs to the set capital Z, okay. So this is how R and S were defined. But now R composition S is what, in the sense it is x comma z, it is x comma z, that is x is from the set capital X and Z is from the set capital Z. But there is a catch here, such a way that x comma y belongs to R, okay. That is you are going to find such elements x comma z such that x comma y belongs to R and y comma z belongs to S, okay. That means there should be some relation between this and this, then only we will include this x and z, okay. So the each element in our composition S will be x comma z such a way that x comma y belongs to R and y comma z belongs to S, okay, right. So this is how we officially define composition, but let us discuss this example in a quite simpler way. There is some, what do you call, when you want to work out it you need not go through this much complexity. There is a easy way to find the composition of two sets or two relations. So it's not set, it is relation. So that's what we are going to discuss now, okay. But this is how officially we define what you call as composition. So just remember this composition of two relation R and S is nothing but x comma z such that x comma y belongs to R and y comma z belongs to S, okay, right. Then this composition can be easily calculated mathematically, it can be easily calculated by using a technique called max min composition, okay. So when you want to calculate R composition S, which is represented as T, okay, then we can say that, so our composition S is what, every element in our composition S is nothing but x comma z, so that here it is mentioned as T of x comma z, which is nothing but, which is equal to sorry, which is nothing but it is equal to max of min of the relation R and relation S, okay. So it is given like this, it is first you have to find the min of the two relation R and S, then you have to find the max of it, okay. So this is how the max min composition, this is how the composition can be calculated, composition between two relations can be calculated by using a technique called max min composition technique, okay. So right now you may not be clear with this equation, but let us discuss this with an example to get clarity, right. So at top level you understand what we are doing is we are finding the minimum of the two relation or the two relations R and S, and then we are taking the max of it, okay. So fine, let us discuss this with an example, okay. So assume we have two sets x and y, x is this 1 3 5 and y is also 1 3 5, okay. R is a relation which is defined something like this, or is what? X comma y. Okay, or is any combination of x comma y where y is equal to x plus 2. Okay, where y is equal to x plus 2, right? This is how or is defined. And S is nothing but any combination of x comma y where x is less than y. Okay, so to identify what is or what is S, it is better first if you calculate the Cartesian product. So first let us find the Cartesian product of x and y. So x cross y is what? It is what? Cartesian product is what? It is mapping, right? X comma y, every element you have to map. So both are same now, 1 3 5 1 3 5. So it will be 1 comma 1 1 comma 3 1 comma 5. Okay, first we are taking 1 from x, then it will be 3 comma 1 3 comma 3 3 comma 5. Okay, then it will be 5 comma 1 5 comma 3 and 5 comma 5. So this is the Cartesian product of this two sets x and y, x cross y. We got this. Now from this Cartesian product we can derive R. The relation R. Relation R is given as what? It is any combination of x comma y where y is equal to x plus 2. That is, y should be equal to x plus 2. So here x is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Is y is 3? No. Here x is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Yeah. So this is one element we can pick up for R. Okay. Then x is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. This is not 3. This is x. 3 plus 2 is 5. This is not 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. This is not 5. This is 3. Okay. 3 plus 2 is 5. This is 5. So this is another element we can pick for R. Okay. 5 plus 2 is 7. This is not 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. This is not 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. This is not 7. So two elements we are getting for relation R. What are they? 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 5. So these are the two, 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 5. Okay. Similarly we have to find for S also. The relation S, how it is defined? It is any combination of x comma y, but only that x should be less than y. That's all. So 1 comma 1 is it less than, is 1 is less than 1? No. 1 comma 3 is x is less than, is 1 is less than 3? Yes. So this we will pick up for yes. 1 comma 5 is 1 is less than 5? Yes. 3 comma 1 is 3 is less than 1? No. 3 comma 3 is 3 is less than 3? No. 3 comma 5 is 3 is less than 5? Yes. So take this. 5 comma 1 is 5 is less than 1? No. 5 comma 3 is 5 is less than 3? No. 5 comma 5 is 5 is less than 5? No. So these are the three elements which we are getting for the relation yes. 1 comma 3 1 comma 5 and 3 comma 5. 1 comma 3 1 comma 5 and 3 comma 5, right? So now these two relations we obtained. Okay. So we are going to discuss about composition, right? Now these two relations we have to represent it as a matrix. So R is represented like this: 1 3 5 and 1 3 5. So only at positions 1 3 and 3 5 we'll put 1. So 1 3 and 3 5 we mark as 1. Remaining all position it is filled with zeros. Similarly, this is how the relation S can be represented through a matrix. So in the position 1 3 1 5 and 3 5 we'll mark as 1. So 1 3 1 5 and 3 5 will mark 1. Remaining all positions will be filled with zeros. Okay. Now how are we going to calculate R composition S? So this is our catch. So we want to calculate R composition S. So what is that equation says? You have to find the minimum of R and S, and then you have to find the max of it. So how to do that? Okay. So how to do that? That's what we are going to discuss. So so what we have to do exactly in the sense. So you have to find. So first you take this. Take the first row. It should be mapped with first column. The first row of R should be mapped with first column of S, and then on this you have to perform min and max. Then you will get this first entry. Then you will get the first entry of R composition S. Okay. So what we have to do is you have to take min of 0 0. What is min? So this 0 and 0. The min is what? 0. Okay. Then 1 and 0. The min is what? 0. Minimum is 0. then 0 and 0, the minimum is what? 0. Okay, then out of this find the max. Find the max of all these things is what? 0. So that this is 0. Is it clear? Now once again first row with second column, so you will get this second entry. Okay, so again 0 and 1, min is what? 0. 0 and 1, the min is 0. 1 and 0, this 1 and this 0, the min is 0. 0 and 0, the min is 0. The max of this is what? Max of this is 0, so this is 0. Take this one. Again take the first row and the third column. Okay, so 0 and 1, 0 and 1, the min is what? 0 and 1, the min is 0. Okay, 1 and 1, next is this is 1 and this is also 1. 1 and 1, the min is 1. 0 and 0, the min is 0. Okay, and take the max of it. The max of it is 1. Okay, so this is 1. Like that we calculate for everything. So then for the next row we can take the second row with first column. Okay, 0 and 0, the min is 0. 0 and again 0 and 0, the min is 0. 1 and 0, the min is 0. The max of this is 0. Like that we calculate, right? So this resultant relation, so this is nothing but the what you call composition or composition. Yes, so this is how we calculate composition. So that is what is represented through this equation. I think now this makes sense. So min of or x comma y comma or y comma z and to the max of that, right? Where for all y belongs to the set y, right? Okay. Fine. So now, so we have discussed so far all these things with crisp set. Now let us discuss all these things with fuzzy set. Okay, so what we have discussed, first from a crisp set, given a two crisp set, how to find its Cartesian product, that we have discussed, and then from a Cartesian product how to define a relation, and then how to represent the relation through a matrix. Okay, and then how to calculate the union, intersection and complement of a relation, and then how to find the composition of two relations. Okay, all these things we have discussed in the context of crisp set. Now we'll be discussing all these things in the context of fuzzy set. Now we'll be discussing all these things in the concept of fuzzy set. Okay, right. So let us discuss with some examples. Assume that there are two sets. Okay, assume that there are two sets, which is something. So the basic difference between crisp relation and a fuzzy relation is, in a crisp relation, if you observe, it will take only values like zeros and 1. That is like yes or no. Whereas that is not the case in a fuzzy relation. Fuzzy relation will take values between 0 and 1. Okay. So this is a crisp relation. For example, this or and yes, all these things are crisp relation. So you can see it takes values only like 0 and 1. Okay, either 0 or 1. Whereas the fuzzy relation will take values between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. It will take between 0 and 1. Okay, so let us assume there are two sets x and y, where x contains these elements: typhoid, viral, cold, some types of what you call diseases, right? And y contains some symptoms like running nose, high temperature and shivering. Okay, and this is represented through a relation R. So we are just discussing one example. So this is connected through a relation R, where how we got this relation, in the sense we are not discussing that. We are just trying to understand how a fuzzy relation differs from a crisp relation. So that is what we are trying to understand. Okay, in a crisp relation, the entries in the matrix will take only values either 0 or 1, whereas in a fuzzy relation it will take value between 0 and 1, right? So typhoid, if somebody is having typhoid, then this is the relation it is we are defining, like the degree of running nose is very less, 0.1 chances are there for running nose, and the high temperature chance is very high, 0.9, and shivering will be there. It is we are giving a score of 0.8. Okay, similarly if somebody is suffering from some viral disease, okay, some viral infection, then the what do you call uh, then the uh, running nose, the chance for running nose is very less, it is 0.2. High temperature is 0.9 and shivering is 0.7. Okay, the degree, these are the degree of certainty. Okay, let us not use the term chance, because chance in the sense it is something similar to probability. So it is degree of certainty. So for the typhoid, the degree of certainty of running nose is very less, 0.1. High temperature, the degree of certainty is 0.9 and shivering also it is 0.8. Similarly, for viral infection, high temperature is 0.9 and the degree of certainty, and shivering is 0.7. Okay, and running nose is 0.2. Someone suffering infected with cold, then running nose, the degree of what do you call the degree of uh, is, it is 0.9. Okay, and for high temperature it is 0.4. Okay, and shivering it is 0.6. Okay, so this is how degree of the degree of certainty. So this is how we define the fuzzy relation. So the main difference is in a crisp relation, the matrix will take values either 0 or 1, whereas in a fuzzy relation it will take values between 0 and 1. Okay, right. Now let us define what is a Cartesian product for a fuzzy relation. Okay, see, please understand, the Cartesian product for fuzzy relation is not same as that of crisp relation. Okay, that is the definition of Cartesian product of fuzzy relation is not as same as that of a crisp relation. In case of a crisp relation, when you want to find the Cartesian product, we included all values, all combination of a and b, that's all, that's it. Okay, but that is not the case in case of a fuzzy relation. The definition is different. Okay, so now we are going to discuss the Cartesian product of a fuzzy relation. Say A is a fuzzy set which is defined on a universe of discourse y, x, okay, such that mu A of x where x belongs to x, and B is another fuzzy set which is defined on a universe of discourse y where mu B of y such that y belongs to y. Okay, now R is a relation, such that R is equal to A cross B, which is a subset of x cross y. Okay, where R has its member function given. So this is how the Cartesian product of a fuzzy relation is defined. This is how the Cartesian product of a fuzzy relation is defined. Mu R of x comma y, fuzzy set. Okay, not fuzzy relation, I'm sorry, fuzzy set. Okay, so the Cartesian product of fuzzy set, this is how we define mu R of x comma y, where x is a fuzzy set and y is also a I mean x belongs to the fuzzy set A and y belongs to the fuzzy set B. So the Cartesian product of x comma y is given as mu of A cross B of x comma y equal to min of the fuzzy set A and the fuzzy set B. So basically we are comparing two sets and we are taking the minimum values. That is what the Cartesian product of a fuzzy set. This is how the Cartesian product of a fuzzy set is defined. Okay. Whereas in the case of Cartesian product of a crisp set, A cross B, we say that it is nothing but A comma B, such that A belongs to A and B belongs to B. This is how we define the Cartesian product of two crisp set. Whereas if you see the Cartesian product of two fuzzy sets, okay, on x comma y, it is defined as min. It is defined as min of the set A and set B. That's it. This is how we define the Cartesian product of what you call the fuzzy set, right? So fine, let us discuss this with an example. So consider this is there is a fuzzy set A and B with these values. Okay, fuzzy set A and B with these values. What are the values? The fuzzy set A contains these elements: A1.2, A2.7, A3.4, and the fuzzy set B contains these values: B1.5, B2.6. Okay, now to find the Cartesian product, what we do is Cartesian product mostly we represent it as a matrix. Okay, you can also represent it as a normal thing also, you can represent. Okay, then you have to compare. You compare first A1. So when you compare A1 with B1, which is small? you have to take min 0.2, 0.5. 0.2 is small, so it will be what? 0.2. Okay, then compare a1 with b2, which is small. A1, b2, 0.2, 0.6. 0.2 is small. Then compare a2 with b1, 0.7 and 0.5, which is small. 0.5 is small. Okay, then compare a2 with b2, 0.7 and 0.6, which is small. 0.6 is small. Okay, then compare a3 with b1, 0.4, 0.5, which is small. 0.4 is small. Then compare a3 with b2, which is small. Again 0.4 is small. Okay, so this is how we define the Cartesian product, right? So this you can represent it as a matrix. So basically it is a mapping from set A to set B. So it's a mapping from all A1, B1, A2, B2 like that. Okay, so when you map from A1 to B1, okay, the small is 0.2. A1 to B2 also it is 0.2. A2 to B1 it is 0.5. A2 to B2 it is 0.6. A3 to B1 it is 0.4. A3 to B2 it is 0.4. Okay, so this is how we find the Cartesian product of two fuzzy sets. Then let us discuss how to find the union, intersection, complement and composition on a fuzzy set and a fuzzy relation. Okay, on a fuzzy relation. Okay, union, intersection, complement, composition are all on fuzzy relation. Only this Cartesian product is on set, fuzzy set. Okay, so how to find a union, intersection, complement and composition on fuzzy relation? So given two fuzzy relation R and S, okay, let an R and S be two fuzzy relations on A cross B, then how can we find its union? So union is nothing but a max of the first relation with the second relation. Okay, this is the max of R and the max of U. That's all. So intersection is nothing but the minimum of the first relation and the second relation. Okay, it is similar as how we discussed for this crisp set or crisp relation. Okay, similarly complement is the complement of a relation is nothing but it is 1 minus that relation. Okay, and the composition of two relations R and S, or composition S, which can be called as T. So this is represented as same. It is nothing but minimum of the relation R and S and its max. Okay, fine. So let us discuss all these things with an example. So let us assume there is a set R. Okay, so here we are discussing only composition. So if you want to find minimum and max also, so if you want to, if you want to find union and intersection also, so union and intersection if you want to find, they should be defined on the same fuzzy set. Okay, for example, the relation R is on the fuzzy set X and Y. Okay, whereas S is on the fuzzy set Y and Z. So for these two relations you cannot find union and intersection. Okay, so if you want to find union, then there should be some relation which is defined on same X and Y. Okay, let us assume there is a relation, say P. Say P is defined on X and Y, say x1, x2, x3 and y1 and y2. Okay, say it has some values 0.3, 0.2, 0.7, 0.4, 0.1 and 0.9. Okay, now what is union? Union is nothing but max of these two relations. Union is nothing but max of these two relations. Okay, so if you want to calculate R union S or union P, or union P, if you want to calculate, it is nothing but max of these two. 0.5 and 0.3, the max is 0.5. 0.1 and 0.2, the max is 0.2. 0.2 and 0.7, the max is 0.7. 0.9 and 0.4, the max is 0.9. 0.8 and 0.1, the max is 0.8. 0.6 and 0.9, the max is 0.9. This is 0.4, yeah. Okay, this is 0.4, this is 0.9, right? So this is R union P. R intersection P is what? It is nothing but min. It is nothing but min of these two relations. 0.5 and 0.3, the min is what? 0.3. 0.1 and 0.2, the min is 0.1. 0.2 and 0.7, the min is 0.2. 0.9 and 0.4, the minimum is 0.4. 0.8 and 0.1, the minimum is 0.1. 0.6 and 0.9, the minimum is 0.6. This is how we calculate the minimum, right? Similarly, if you want to calculate OR complement, okay, if you want to calculate OR complement is nothing but it is 1 minus OR, that's all. So it is 1 minus that relation OR. So when you calculate 1 minus relation OR, what you get is called as OR complement. Okay, so that can be represented something like this. So OR complement or OR to the power C. So if you see 1 minus 0.5 is what? 0.5. 1 minus 0.1 is 0.9. 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8. 1 minus 0.9 is 0.1. 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2. 1 minus 0.6 is 0.4. Okay. So this is OR complement, right? So this is how we calculate union, intersection and complement on a fuzzy relation, right? Now let us see how to calculate the what you call the composition, which is important. How to calculate the composition of two fuzzy relations R and S. Okay. So here we have two relations R and S. Okay. So R is defined on the fuzzy set X and Y, whereas S is defined on the fuzzy set Y and Z. Okay. R is defined on the fuzzy set X and Y, and S is defined on the fuzzy set Y and Z, and this is how R and S were given. So composition S is what? If you recall the formula, what is our composition S? It is min max. First you have to find min and then max. Okay. So the logic is similar, like how we did for the crisp set. So first take the first row and find the min max for the first column. Then you will get this value. Okay. So 0.5. So first we have to find the min. 0.5, 0.6. What is min? 0.5. Okay. 0.1, 0.5. What is min? 0.1. Okay. For this you find the max. Max of this is what? 0.5. So we got this 0.5. Okay. Next, first row and second column. First row and second column, 0.5 and 0.4. What is min? 0.4. 0.1 and point. This is 8, right? 0.1 and 0.8. What is min? 0.1. What's the max of this? 0.4. So that is why we got this 0.4. So next, first row and third column. So 0.5 and 0.7, the min is 0.5. 0.1 and 0.9, the min is 0.1. So the max of this is what? 0.5. So we got this. Next, second row and first column. Second row and first column. So 0.2 and 0.6, the min is 0.2. 0.9 and 0.5, the min is 0.5. So the max of this is what? 0.5. So we got this 0.5. Okay. Next, second row and second column, 0.2 and 0.4, the min is what? 0.2. Then 0.9 and 0.8, the min is 0.8. The max of this is 0.8. Okay. Next, second row and third column, 0.2 and 0.7, the min is 0.2. 0.9 and 0.9, it is 0.9. The max of this is 0.9. Okay. Got this. Then third row and first column, 0.8 and 0.6. 0.8 and 0.6, the min is 0.6. Then 0.6 and 0.5, the min is 0.5. So the max of this is 0.6. So we got this 0.6 here. Okay. So on and so forth. So next is what? Third row and second column, 0.8 and 0.4, which is min is 0.4. 0.6 and 0.8, which is 0.6. So the max is 0.6. Okay. Next, third row and third column, 0.8 and 0.7, the min is 0.7. 0.6 and 0.9, the min is 0.6. The max of this is 0.7. Right? So this is how we calculate the composition or composition S. Right? Okay. So there are some more examples for composition is given here. Say we have two fuzzy sets. Say we have two sets P and D. Okay, where P represents where P contains values P1, P2, P3, P4. Actually, this P1, P2, P3 represents different types of paddy plants. Okay, and D contains these values D1, D2, D3, and D4. So these contains These contain different types of disease that can affect a paddy plant. So D1 is one type of disease, D2 is another type of disease, D3 is another type of disease, D4 is another type of disease. Okay, and we have another set S. We have another set S which contains these values S1, S2, S3 and S4, where these are symptoms of a particular disease. So S1 represents symptom of one particular disease, S2 represents symptom of second disease, S3 represents the symptom of third disease, and S4 represents the symptom of fourth disease. Okay. Now we have a relation R. We have a relation R which is defined over P and D. That is the paddy and the disease. That is, each type of paddy can get what type of disease with what certainty. Okay, that relation is defined something like this: P1, P2, P3, D1, D2, D3. That is the paddy variety 1 can get disease 1 with a certainty of 0.6, disease 2 with a certainty of 0.6, disease 3 with a certainty of 0.9, disease 4 with a certainty of 0.8, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is a relation on, R is a relation on only P and D. Okay, similarly we have another relation S which is on D and S. The relation S is on D and S. Okay, so D is the disease and S is the symptom. So if the disease is D1, then the certainty of symptom of S1 will be 0.1, S2 will be 0.2, S3 will be 0.7 and S4 will be 0.9. If the disease is D2, then the certainty of symptom 1 will be 1.0, symptom 2 will be 1.0, symptom 3 will be 0.4 and symptom 4 will be 0.6, so on and so forth. Okay, so the point is R is defined on, R is a relation which is defined on P and D, and S is the relation which is defined on D and S. Okay, where D is the disease and S is the symptom. Okay, now find R, what you call R composition T. R composition T. You have to find R composition S, not T. This is not R composition S. We can say that T is equal to R composition S. Okay, we find R composition S. So it is the same logic. You take the first row and do it with the first column. Okay, so find the min max. So 0.6, 0.1, min is 0.1, again 0.6, 1.0, min is 0.6, 0.9 and 0.0, so min is 0.0, 0.8 and 0.9, so min is 0.8. The max of this is what? 0.6. So the first value will be first value is 0.8. How we got 0.8? So R and S, right? So first row and first column, 0.6, 0.1, it is 0.1, 0.6 and 1.0, min is 0.6. Yeah, max, we have to take max, right? Max of 0.1, 0.6 and 0.0, 0.8, it is 0.8, right? So it is 0.8, right? Similarly, you do for all the things and you can find out this, right? So basically this is another example for composition, right? Similarly, we have one more example here. We'll finish with this. Say there are two relations R and S, okay, where R is defined on X and Y. R is defined on X and Y, and S is defined on Y and Z. Okay, the relation R is defined on X and Y, and S is defined on Y and Z. Okay, so these are the values of the set X. X contains 1, 2, 3, and Y contains alpha, beta, gamma and delta, and Z contains A and B. Okay, so R is a relationship between X and Y. X is what? 1, 2, 3. Y is alpha, beta, gamma and delta, and this is how the relation R is given, and this is how the relation S is given, which is between Y and Z. Y is nothing but alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and Z is A and B. Okay, now we can calculate R S, that you know. Okay, that is nothing but this way you have to calculate, right? Okay, so you can calculate the R cross S, you can calculate, so that is fine. Now what else we are going to do, in the sense we can also map individually. Now we want we can calculate R composition S, which can be interpreted as a derived fuzzy relation x is relevant to z. Okay, that is x is r is on x comma y and s is on y comma z, but still x is relevant to z because we can have a mapping from r composition yes. That is what r composition yes does. Okay, now suppose that we are only interested on the degree of relevance between 2 and a. Okay, assume that you are only interested, you are not interested on all other relevance. We are only interested on like how 2 is connected with a, how 2 is connected with a. Only this I am interested. I am not interested on everything else. I don't want the entire or composition yes. I want only this part. Then what you have to do is you just take this, this 2 corresponds to second row. Take this second row and a corresponds to first column. For this alone you find the min max value. Okay, so we are we are not interested on full R composition yes. We are only interested on 2 composition A. So you can call it as 2 composition A. So what is that? Find the min max. 0.4, 0.9. What is min? 0.4. 0.2, 0.2. The min is 0.2. 0.8, 0.5. The min is 0.5. 0.9, 0.7. The min is 0.7. Now the max of this is what? 0.7. Okay, so how 2 is related to a in the sense it is related with the certainty of 0.7. Okay, that is the value. So this is how you got. Okay, so the relationship between the composition of r composition yes, but we are only related concerned with 2 and a, so the value is 0.7. Is it clear? So like that you can calculate for anything else. Say for example, like that you can also calculate for 1 and b, how it is related. So take the first row and this column and calculate, right? Are you getting? So the full r comma the full r composition yes will give the full matrix, which will give the full relation. But sometimes if you are not interested in the full relation, you are only interested on the partial relation of some values, and then you can of what you call of some this is 1 2 3 is corresponding to of some x and AB is corresponding to Z of some x and some Z, then that also you can do, right? Okay, so I think it's clear, right? So here if you see the resultant matrix in R cross S, it contains what you call 3 rows into 2 columns, because here first matrix contains 3 rows, second matrix contains 2 columns. Sorry, yeah, 3 rows and 3 columns, because first matrix contains 3 rows and second matrix contains 3 columns. Okay, similarly for this case, if you draw a full or composition yes, then the resultant matrix will have 3 rows and 2 columns, because this has yeah, this has 3 rows and this has 2 columns, so it will have 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so that's it. Let us stop here. Thank you.